Gamification Basics. I wanted to start out with this rather arbitrary looking picture here because I wanted to show that gamification is not something new, right? Gamification has been going on for a long time. The definition of gamification is basically trying to give value to things that already have value, but people really need an extra push in order to do it, right? So we're trying to give more value. So for example, here, you can see that these two individuals have lots of medals, right? They're very proud of their medals that they have. These medals in and of themselves really don't do much, right? They don't provide them with more income. They don't provide them with anything really besides feeling good about themselves and giving social status and helping them be proud of the things that they've done. And that is what gamification tries to do. It tries to encourage the behavior we want by adding an extra layer of value to it, okay? So, and the way we do that is that we take the principles and the ideas and the elements of games and we apply those to the classroom. So we use them in order to help make our classes more engaging and help our students to feel more motivated in our classes. So it works, like I said, by helping to provide more motivation and by augmenting intrinsic value. So by intrinsic value, what we're talking about is everything in our class should already have value, right? It should already have a purpose. It should already have a reason for them to want to do it. But sometimes they just don't feel that deeply enough, right? So what we do with gamification is we augment that. We increase the amount of intrinsic value that something has by adding extra layers to it and thereby encouraging them to do what we want them to do in class. So here are some examples. Gamification is all around us. Now, these examples are outside of education, but they should, at least some of these should be very familiar to you. So for example, likes in order to encourage and posting on Facebook, right? So posting on Facebook already has value. You want to get your message out there. You want to get feedback, but likes encourages you to think harder about it, to be more careful and to try more often. Okay, earning badges on websites like Stack Overflow. So if you contribute to the community, then you get these badges, and this encourages you. So contributing to the community already has value, but by earning badges, it gives you a greater desire to want to contribute more. Automatic counting and benchmarks for number of steps in Fitbit. So steps have value, they give us exercise, but by adding this counting and these benchmarks, we feel a greater desire to do steps and to do more steps. Ranks for providing Google reviews, right? So if you have posted Google reviews, you'll know that after you post a certain number of reviews, then you level up and then you get a new rank. Streaks in Duolingo, right? Some people, anytime you talk to somebody who uses Duolingo, if you ask them what their streak is, they will know. They will know days they have in their streaks, and this encourages them to keep doing this. There's loyalty programs all over the place, right? Every grocery store and gas station has a loyalty program, and purchasing from a gas station already has value, but by having a loyalty program, you feel more drive to do it the way they want you to do it, which is purchase it at their gas station. Okay, so these are all examples of gamification. Now, you may not think about these as gamification because they are so integrated into it that it just feels natural, right? And that's the way gamification should work. It shouldn't feel like something artificially slapped on. It should feel like a natural extension of what we're having our students do. All right, so how can I gamify my class? Well, the first thing you need to think about is what behaviors you want to encourage, right? Because remember, what we're doing is we're adding value to stuff we already have them doing. So first you got to figure out what you want them to do. And especially think about areas that they may have challenges with. And then you have to be prepared for iterative development, which means you're going to try, you're going to figure out some stuff that works, some stuff that didn't work, you're going to modify it, you're going to try again. That is the way games are developed. And so that is the way gamification must be developed. And you have to be prepared for this process of continual refinement, right? Through constantly trying to improve it. And I mention that because a lot of people are like, oh, well, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. But gamification really, in order to be fully integrated and have that feel of being integrated into class, needs to be done personalized for each class, just like it needs to be personalized for each game. No two games are identical, They're all slightly different. Okay. All right. So now we come to the meat of the session here. Here are some commonly used game principles and elements, and these are all pulled from different research articles. These are the most commonly researched gamification principles and elements that are used in actual classrooms. The research on these has found overwhelmingly that all of these do have positive effects. Okay, so each of these they're ranked. They're in order from most commonly studied to least commonly studied, and there's more after this. There's like quite a few after this, but these are just the top 16. And all of these have had more. The research has found more positive results for them than, if any, negative results or neutral results. So let's just read through this list right here. And also, you'll notice that some of these have an asterisk after them. Those are the ones that I am currently using in at least one of my classes. And the other ones have a little caret. Those are the ones that I have been tossing around and thinking about, trying to figure out how I could use them. So these are all ones that I have at least some level of familiarity with, and you'll notice that as we go through them. Okay, so we have number one is points or score and XP. Then we have leaderboards and ranking. Next is badges, achievements, and medals. Challenges, quests, missions, levels, cooperation and teams, quizzes, questions, progress, status bars, skill trees, social networking features, performance stats and feedback, timer and speed, narrative and narration, avatar or character, competition, assistants and virtual helpers, and retries, health, and health points.